Oh, okay. I think the link on the LMS is completely different from the one from the calendar itself.
Oh,
That's the reason why. Okay, okay, no problem at all. Let me go and fix that right now because I think use a link from the calendar invite just to be on the safe side. Because I think
calendar.
yeah,
Okay, you mean in the email, right?
yeah, in the email you should have got a calendar invite because the thing is sometimes these calendar link can change. That's the biggest issue.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like every time.
There might be a newer link. Yeah, see, like even if I change it now, the next class is so just join the class here. I'll send you the link right now. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Send that.
So calendar, where can get the calendar?
I'll show you. I'll show you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, because the link has changed. It seems like because the newer class, right? So Google has made some changes. Give me 1 second. It's not one occurrence. That's the biggest issue. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll send you the link right now.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Hey, look, just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to see why the link has changed. 1 second. Yeah, it's completely different from the link. Even the ones I sent you before too, because I think it's changing every class.
Oh,
It's a
that's fine.
Google site. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll show you how to get that. Okay.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm just sending an email to the room. I'll take it from
Okay.
the Google Calendar, please. I will show. Because what's before what I used to do is when we create one link, it used to say the same for every class. But I'm just
Okay.
noticing now that even the one I gave you before for the it should have stayed the same. It shouldn't have changed. Okay, so I'll show you how to get the link in 1 second here. Okay, so if you go into your let me share my window here. Entire screen. So okay. Okay, so this is your Gmail, right? So if you go into your email here, let's say if you go into your calendar here, to go into your calendar here, or in your email the site you can get it too. But let's say if I go into my calendar,
Uh, yes, calendar.
yeah, yeah, and then you see this one over here. It says IT Help Desk FEB26-3 week 3 Azure class activity.
Should I navigate to the date or the?
Yeah, like if you go today's date, you should see a calendar right here in your calendar. Just like my screen over here on today's date.
Wait.
Maybe are you seeing it in Can you share me your screen if you don't mind?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, okay, right. Because I'm in a different email.
No
That's why.
Oh, okay. No problem.
So,
Yeah, it's changing. Every class has a different ID. Seeing that right now. Yeah. Yeah, every class has its own separate ID. So that link would not work.
oh, right. Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Different for each class. Yeah. So let me just, because for sure before we never had this issue. Let me just see and make sure. Yeah, it's changed. It's a Google thing. I believe it's for each of the calendar invites that this one we can't we don't have control over. So yeah, it seems like each class has its own link. So if you just click on that, you should join that link. Okay?
Okay.
That's how I joined too. Just use this link to join. Okay, that's why I just sent a thing now.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, it'll
Oh.
just be a new meeting link. I think it's just because Google's way of changing. So
Okay.
that's yeah, no problem at all. And I just mentioned that there's no more Google Meeting link, and I have to change it for all classes. No problem. Okay, no worries. Okay, that's how you'll get your meeting. Just one second here. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So what's going to happen is this class you're going to have Azure. There's going to be 3 assignments assigned to you. Which is going to be part of your Azure training, okay? Which we're going to go through right now. Next 2 weeks, there's no live classes, okay?
Okay.
You are expected to do this through email, communication with your team members, and your team members to participate. Now, let's say if you ever go in a direction of incorrect direction, I will jump in and help you. Not a problem at all, but I don't try to interfere with team communications, okay? When you guys are communicating. And I always suggest use that IT Help Desk -FEB, your course code 26-3, and I'll show you. I'll create an email chain, so you guys will keep it within that email chain, and I'll show you from the other batches too that I know there's one batch yesterday that Feb 26, I believe. So, yeah. So if you see here, like there's.
I send the network assignment from the last week.
Yes, please. Yeah. I should have went through it and I'll reply to it. Okay, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is the email chain I created, and you see like all the team members they'll ask questions and everybody will jump in and help and those type of things. Okay. So if they are going in a wrong direction, and if I find that sometimes that they might have some issues, I'll jump in and help if I see that I need to come in to help. This is to make sure that you guys are doing research and developing your skills on research into cloud. Okay. We'll keep it that way, and I'll show you where to go and get the assignments too. Okay. So in your thing here, in your LMS over here.
Yeah.
So please watch these videos, and then you would have actually in week 3 just watch these videos as well. And in this video, it's going to show you how to create Microsoft Azure account. Okay. Anything that we do in this class for Microsoft Azure is completely free. You will never be charged as long as you stick to what we tell you to do. And even after you've done this class too, you can do it. It's completely free. Okay. Because we're going to stay in the Microsoft Azure's free services, part of their training thing for students and anyone that's looking to explore the services. Okay. If you do anything else other than that, it becomes you'll get charged for it. Okay, which is fine. You just have to know when to stop and start. Okay. Microsoft does offer free services that you can use, even running virtual machines, everything. They do have free versions. You just have to look for it to run. Okay. So if you scroll down here into week 4 and week 5, this is where you'll find your assignment. Okay. This is assignment 1, 2, and 3. So I'll just open it up and I'll show you quickly. So there's assignment 1, 2, and 3. The first one, let me just download it. No problem. I should have a lot of documents. Okay. I'll download all of them and I'll show you. So I'll just open up each one of them right now.
So, what is basically Azure? It's like
Okay.
it's a system kind of. Is it?
Yeah, so it's explained to you in the video as well here, but that's okay. I'll explain it really quick. No, that's okay. I'll explain it really quickly. It's not a big deal. So okay, when we have our computer, right, we have our servers and everything that in corporate environment we host, right? But what happens is sometimes you might need to have more than one server. So which means back in the day they used to buy additional computer or additional server and put on it, right? So which means now they have to run power, they have to run internet cable, they have to make sure it's cooling and everything into the system itself. Once they came up with this theory called virtualization, they can create virtual machines.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can buy one big powerful machine, and you can, inside of it you can split that one powerful hardware machine into small chunks of virtual machines, which will help you to divide the tasks or applications, and it's easy to maintain like that, and it's cost effective, right? You don't have to buy a new computer for a new type of program you want to run or a new type of things you want to test. It'll just all be one big computer, but it'll just be virtual, right? It'll be a virtual computer. Now this is one, still the company has to own it, the company has to maintain it, company still has to hire technicians and everything, right? Which for a large enterprise is fine. Large enterprise still runs the same way. But for small company or small to mid-sized company, it's not really cost effective. Because a server technician will cost you anywhere from $40 to $45 an hour. $75,000 a year, right? $75,000 a year you can't just have one person. You have to have a manager. You have to have a small team. You have to have 3 or 4 people team, which easily will cost you around $250,000 to $400,000 a year for a company. So now the cost only happens if I own the computer, right? If I have it in my place, if I have to power it, if I have to maintain it, right? But what if I can lease it from someone? They can maintain it, they can do everything, but I can lease the model. I can lease the computer. That's when this cloud thing comes up. Cloud thing is nothing more than you're just using someone else has a hardware. You're just using what they have from their place, and you're just remoting into it to use it and do all your work. And they maintain it. They will update and everything. Depend on what type of thing. Yeah, it's in the record video. I explained there's PAAS.
I look into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. There's like 3 different service model for cloud, right? Three different, which is PaaS, SaaS, and IaaS, right? So it depends on which one you go to. The responsibility shifts from the vendor to the customer. But essentially, cloud means it's still a computer in a remote location. You're just using it for the service itself, and you're paying based either on a usage based out of usage or a fixed monthly rate. Yeah, those two are the payment models. Either you pay like $1,000 a month, or you pay like 30 cents per minute. How I use the machine. It depends like that, right? So in this case, right? Let's say if you take that. It becomes very cost effective for the company where if they only open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., they're only paying for that time, right? So they'll be like an 8-hour time. They're only paying for 8-hour time. And after that, you can shut it down because they don't need it after that, right? So it just becomes very cost effective. And thinking they don't have to do any maintenance, they don't have to do upgrades, they don't have to, if the hardware fails or something, that they don't have to worry about it. That company will take care of it, right? So that's the reason why cloud computing became so much famous right now. And that's the reason why it's like saying, okay, I'll just use it for the benefit, but then I don't have to have the ownership of it, right? It's not my responsibility. It's just switching the responsibility. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, perfect. So assignment number 1, it's about getting a Microsoft Azure intra-ID prep. So as part of your role as a help desk analyst, you will focus a lot on access control. So meaning who can access what and what they cannot access. That will be your role as an entry level. Okay, you will not be creating any virtual machines. You will not be doing anything that's admin level work. You'll be doing what's called a maintenance work. So you'll be doing like somebody joined the company, you'll create the account, give them the proper access, assign them the proper roles, and I'll show you how this works, and make sure they're ready to do their work. That's your basic responsibility is, and do some troubleshooting in between there. Okay, so which is what the first assignment. It's about setting up 25 people in Microsoft Azure. Okay, this explains to you. This is about level 1 task. This will teach you. Give me 1 second. received emails. Give me 1 second. It's a student.
Okay.
I think same issue as you had as well. They have the wrong link. Give me a second.
Oh.
Okay, no. Okay, so in this one, we talk about a company department. How do you actually create a department inside your Azure account? Because you can't just have everyone working everywhere, right? You have to have departments. You have to have executive departments. You have to have HR. You have to have finance, and then maybe in finance there might be different department inside of finance too, right? So we'll learn how to actually create something called groups and nested groups. Okay, so groups are the higher departments, finance, IT, HR, and those type of things. But in IT, you'll have different subgroups, right? You'll have system admin, you'll have network technician, you'll have help desk, you'll have service desk, and those are called nested groups. It's a group within a group. Okay, we'll create those as well. That's what you guys will do, and then you guys start adding in people into it. And we give you the people you need to add. Okay, exactly. And this is what you'll do part of your, this is actually simulated based on your real life, what you'll do in a role like this is to create people's access, give them proper type of naming, create the account, and then assign access to, right? Proper access from Azure site, okay? So you'll create, I think, about 25 users, something like 20 or 25 users, I believe. So you'll have ample amount of thing for these creating onboarding, okay? And every time you create it, you'll have to take a picture and create a document and send to us an email. Okay, that's your submission for the assignment. Okay, so I'll tell you right now, and I'll email to you. But your assignment will be due on the March 27th before 10 p.m. Okay, all has to come in through. All has to be in one email. And each assignment to be a PDF individually, okay?
Okay. So PDF. 14th and 21st, we don't have the classes.
Live classes, but you can still that means these are given to you to work on the assignments, yes. Through email, those type of things, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, right. But I'll go through it right now, and then this is first assignment, so which is about setting up. And the thing is, I always tell people, all the batches is, do this assignment first, get this over with, because this is the easiest one, but this takes the most amount of time. The second and third one is about troubleshooting. At least once you get the flow, it's easy to work through it. But the first assignment is it's purely based out of creating access, right? So this is easy, but it just takes the most amount of time. Okay, so go through this and create this first. Okay, if you can do it today, that'll be great. But do it at least this one first. Second and third, you can do it slightly little bit time throughout the week. But the first one takes the most amount of time. The second one is, and I estimated about this one. It depends on your individual, but this one I say about 2 hours it takes for the assignment. Okay, most people 1.5 to anywhere from 1.5 hours to 3 hours they done with the assignment consistently put it in, and the assignment 3 to 2 hours. Okay. The second assignment is about adding in roles and responsibilities and those type of things, onboarding a new sales employee. So you'll be creating a new account for them and put them in the proper groups and everything, okay? Then you have to, it tells you what type of screenshot you'll need. You start up with that, and you'll do a position change. So this will be based on what you'll do in actual work. There might be sometimes, some people will be getting a position change, right? Meaning they might be moving to a different department, or they might be getting a position change. Like they could be from an analyst to a team lead, right? How do you actually do the position change? You learn from here as well. Offboarding, which means when people are leaving the company, how do you actually properly close the account so you don't have any security breaches? It's very important. Okay? So, and then approving an access request, built-in role only. So this one, and then there is a case file removing access that shouldn't exist. And then that's
one thing. Like
sure.
So Azure, most of the companies using Azure currently,
yes.
or
Azure. Azure is heavily used. The reason is because it syncs in very well with Windows computer, Microsoft computers. It's natively, if you in corporate environment, 90% of the computers are Windows-based computers. So Azure natively will sync. There's nothing extra they need to do. Pretty much automatically you can sync. That's the reason why. Now, there's AWS and there's GCP. AWS and GCP is used for backup purposes. In case Azure ever goes down, they have another backup server. That's what it's used for. A lot of companies, about 60% of the companies in the market right now are Azure-based. The reason why 60% is all the banking are Azure-based, all the health sector are Azure-based. Pretty much anything that you can think of, any enterprise, like like any big company or small company, mid-sized company to big company to enterprise, they're all Microsoft. It's because it's easier for the computer to sync with the Microsoft servers. It's built around that ecosystem. That's the one. Email system syncs automatically. Your computer will sync automatically. Your logins will sync automatically. Your servers will sync automatically. It's easy to set that up that way. That's the reason why Azure took over the market.
Okay. And so it's like for the hardware networking, we have CompTIA Plus. Do we have any exams like certification for Azure?
For sure. Which is what I'll let you guys know is it's called AZ900. Okay, this is a fundamental certification.
Okay.
Yes, this is fundamental, and this one it's around. I believe for Canada you'll pay around 85 bucks for it, but you don't have to pay 85 USD. But if you join, which I'll send you guys, there's a Microsoft Virtual Day training. It's completely free, online live class. You can just join. It's a 2 days training for Azure. Once you join that and then you complete it, there's no exam. You just have to stay for the 2 hours. They give you a 50% off coupon. So you'll do that for only $45, right? That's for $45.
So it's kind of like what you are doing here. It's kind of like that in
They
here?
go just on the certification. So we go on the roll. They just go on certification itself. It's very, very strictly on the certification. It doesn't go beyond that, And AZ900 is more of like Azure fundamentals, right? It's like where things are, how does the building work, and everything. Usually, in the past, people have passed within a week. 1 week of study time for this is enough. It's very, very basic. It's nothing too fancy.
Okay.
We're just trying to see, because there's a lot of trainings. It's all free. You guys are more than welcome. Azure Virtual Training. I'm just trying the fundamental one. Yeah, it's no, not data, not data fundamental. They'll always have, you just have to find it. It's just
so they're providing training like free for their all softwares, like
yeah, almost all software they have free trainings. For all their softwares they have, software and products they have a free training.
What is it called, Anna?
I'll send that to you right now. It's called Microsoft Virtual Day Training. Microsoft Virtual Training Days. So they have a lot of fundamentals. So a lot of them are just there you go, Azure. This one. So this one, there's one on the 12th and 13th at 5 EDT. I don't know which timing that is. EDT is.
It's like kind of online one. So
yeah, it's 100% online live.
Okay. It's not recorded one.
No. Well, I mean, they say it's not recorded, but it is recorded. I've done it before. It is recorded, but they run it. They play it during the lifetime, and whoever joins will get a AI Power World for free Microsoft Virtual Day training, and they give you 50% off. Yeah, 50% off on the exam. So Microsoft Azure Fundamental Certificate exam at 50% of the cost. Okay, you can write it for. And I'll say, and this is 2 days. You have to attend 2 days, so it's March 12th and March 13th. And these are the timings they have. I believe this will be like a 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock PM. I believe so. This is like 6. No, this is like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. I think. I believe this will be at 6 a.m. Eastern time, and then 8:30 a.m. You just have to turn it on and leave it on. That's all.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
don't
We
have to,
didn't.
you don't have to
Oh,
participate in it or anything like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm working at that time. That's why.
No. You don't have to participate in it at that time. You just have to turn it on and leave it on. That's it.
The morning, right? Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just go ahead and reach out. They have a lot of these. Even if you miss it, they have a lot of them. If you just let me just copy this thing, it's easier. You filter out just that. Yeah, so see, they have one on the 23rd, they have one on the 29th, 31. So they have pretty much they run it all the time. So as I said, it's recorded, they run it live, so it's you don't have to worry about too much. Okay, even if you miss it, you can join the. Not a big deal. But then you get that 50% off, and pretty much any of the fundamental ones you join, they give you 50% off on. Okay, anyone, and do the ones that make sense, like the AI ones if you want to do it, the fundamental these ones, 50% off, $40. You're not gonna you're not gonna regret it not getting it. Okay. Okay. So that's I just talked about assignment 2. It's about creating things. Assignment 3 is a bit different. Assignment 3 in the first case, I believe there's 10 cases. I believe there's 10 cases. Yeah, 10 cases. And the first thing, you'll start creating issues. This is called troubleshooting and fixing issues. Okay, troubleshooting and access thing. This is for level 1 and level 1.5 IT support. So you don't quite touch level 2, but you go in as level 1 and level 1.5. Okay, which means you start creating this issue. And then in the second part, you go ahead and fix the issue and take screenshots. Okay, log and fix a blocked or disabled account, password, and review sign-in logs. You learn how to read sign-in logs. You'll see how to actually pick up on sign-in logs. The difference between when the password is entered in incorrectly versus MFA getting incorrect MFA, right? So you'll get to understand like all the difference and how to see that. Because without reading logs, you won't have a proper picture of it. That's very important that you need read logs. Give me 1 second. Let me just sit down. So yeah, so without reading logs, you won't be able to properly diagnose what the issue is or be able to understand where the things are going on. It's very difficult. So you learn how to read logs and make sure you pick up on how to actually read logs. It's very, very important for your role. It's something that it's very crucial. So you start putting in screenshot and handing it in. As I said, the first one is the thing that takes the most amount of time. And a lot of people, they don't do the first one and they try to do the last minute and then they don't handle it. Okay. That's what happens. It's incomplete. So first work on the first one and then work your way up. And I'll just show you how this will work. Okay. Once you create your, let me just open my Edge because I have it saved on my Edge. You can do it in Google Chrome, not a problem at all. Once you sign up for Microsoft Portal,
Is it support for the Edge or the Chrome?
No, everything
It
will
doesn't
work.
matter.
It just
Okay.
because for me is I have another when I used to do my work actually I do consultancy for business, right? So
Yeah.
one of them are logged into my Chrome. So as soon as I try to log into the portal here
Oh,
to use Chrome, it just causes the issues for my other consultancy businesses.
oh,
So
okay.
that's why I just stay away from using. And for me, this Edge I use it for teaching. So for me, this is okay for the Edge.
Oh.
But you're more than okay with doing Firefox, Chrome, or Edge. It doesn't matter. This won't matter. It's just from my case because I did consultancy and I still do. I'm logged into their account and just cause a lot of issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if you want to access Microsoft Azure, you'll go into portal.azure.com. Okay. That is your login to Microsoft Azure. It'll ask you log in and everything. Let me just go and click on this. Because I've already logged in, I pretty much access this once a week to teach and everything. But for you, it'll ask you to enter in your password and enter in your MFA. There's a video, as I said, in here. I teach you exactly how to create the account. Is because I cannot in the week, this one. Microsoft Azure, this one. This video shows it because I can't create the Azure account every time. That's the reason why I recorded me creating. Okay. And one more thing I'll tell you, even if you watch the video, that's fine below. Just don't create the Microsoft 365 account right now. Okay. It's very important we create this certain time. It's because there's a time limit, and after 29 days, you will get charged. Is because I'll tell you right now, if you don't follow this video, I'll show you right now what happened to one of the students who did not listen to, who did not follow the instructions properly on the video. They got charged $1,000 on their card. So that's why it's very, very, it's very, very important that you follow the video, and I tell you what time to exactly sign up, and I tell you exactly how to cancel. They deducted $1,000. But we got the money back from them. But we don't need to go through this. This is like in the 4 years of us teaching, this has only happened twice, two or three times that I remember. I think maximum is 3 times. In the video, I specifically show you how to create the account, and I specifically show you how to end the account. And I tell you, please create a calendar alert or alarm to turn off the subscription. It's very important. If you do, you have no issues. But if you don't, yes, they will charge you. There's a 90% chance you get the money back. Okay, this person did get the money back, so it's not a problem at all. But it's just you have to call them, and it's a long wait time. We spent about 4 hours on the phone line as well, right? So it's not, it's not worth it. Just follow. I'll tell you exactly what to do in the video too. I show you exactly how to sign up for it and exactly how to end it. So once you've done the assignment, I tell you, this is once you start the assignment. Once we start Microsoft 365, I will tell you as soon as you've done the assignment, close the account. You no longer need it to go for it, right? So I'll tell you that right away. Okay, so
I want one thing, like so what is the difference, like Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Office? It's like the same.
Okay, so think of it like this. Okay, so Microsoft Office is a product within Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 is a service. Okay, so it's like imagine it's Microsoft 365 is a company, and the company's product is Office. I know it gets so weird because there's Office 365 as well. That's what you're coming from, right? Office 365. Yeah. So Microsoft 365, there's Office 365. Yes, Microsoft 365 is more of the company. Office 365 is a product itself. In it, you have different licensing and everything. We'll definitely go through it, and you'll have much. It's like almost once you start understanding Azure how it works, Office 365 is easy. Office 365 does the same thing, but it does it in an email way. It's meant for email and access control, those type of things, but in an email for the email itself. And in a corporate environment, email is one of the biggest communication key, right? It's one of the important communication key we have. Everything's done through email, right? So it's to maintain the integrity and everything. And then now with Microsoft 365, they made it so that files and folders can be created within it. Microsoft 365 also has something called Teams now. Teams. So Teams does phone calls, VoIPs, and those type of things. So it became a bigger service than it used to be.
You mean Microsoft Teams?
Microsoft Teams. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Microsoft Teams is also a product of Microsoft 365. It's a product of Microsoft 365. So these all can be controlled. Now they also added something called Intune. Intune is to control the devices. So that's also part of it's also part of your Azure as well. Everything connects here. So here I'll show you here. So Microsoft Azure is one service, and then Microsoft Office 365. Microsoft here, and there's Office 365. This is another service. They have DevOps. They have Intra. We'll go through Intra as well. Intune is another service. This is to control devices, cell phones, laptops. Pretty much any devices, this can control it. We can tell it, this can be configured to a point where we can say, okay, if Adhavan takes a laptop outside of this 4168 building and goes to his house, it should not work. The laptop will not work. I can say it set a geolocation on it, saying that if this laptop leaves Markham Street, the laptop will not work. Our laptop will not be able to log in. It sends me alert or something like that, right? So, and I can tell you exactly what you can do on the laptop, what you cannot do on the laptop. I can set it so you can't even download any programs. I can set it so you can't copy any, you can't put a USB drive and copy it unless I approve it. I can set it so you can't copy anything on you can, how you right click and copy it like that for a cell phone and for laptop as well. It can be so granular down that you can't do anything on the device except for just to do the work. And it could be for individual person, group of people, or a department as well.
Oh,
Yeah, so let's say IT, you might need to plug in a USB drive, right?
yeah.
Whereas sales agent, that does not need to plug in a USB drive. There's no need for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Send everything to email. You shouldn't need to copy it, right? There's no need for you to copy it. So send everything to email. That way we can always monitor it.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it could be so granularly designed that the computer or whatever it is that we have in the corporate environment can be controlled so much.
Mm.
And we can say this. Let's say I leave the job right today. I do something and then I get fired. All I have to do is I just have to let the system admin know, send a command. The computer will self-erase by itself. Cell phone will self-erase by itself.
Oh. So, for the cell phone and for the laptops, do we have to install specific software for that? Otherwise, how do we get the access? Like,
Good question. Because this is Azure and it's a Microsoft product, right? Because we have Windows, there's a small software that part of your
oh, okay.
when you log into your corporate Azure account on your computer, it
Hmm.
automatically gets installed. It like you
Oh,
can set it so that only if it's installed you can access corporate stuff. You can even set that, and you can set it so that only if the computer has this software, that's when you can join the company's organization's network.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you can
That,
have that as a prerequisite. So you
mm,
have to have it, or else you can't log
mm,
in. So a lot
mm.
of hospitals, a lot of government agencies, when we do it, that's how it is. Even in your phone, that's why they don't give you that's why they give you a phone. It's not for your they want to be good to you. It's just because everything is on the work phone, and if they want to destroy it, they destroy the phone itself, right? And you'll never have access, and you cannot take from the phone away from the phone.
And for the Azure account, it's better to have Microsoft email like
No,
Hotmail
no,
or Microsoft. It doesn't
that's
matter,
okay.
right?
Anything is fine. Anything is fine. It's not a problem at all. You can have Yahoo, Gmail, Microsoft Outlook, or anything, whatever it is. I
Mm.
just suggest because they sometimes send like these garbage emails. Just keep sign up for a new one if you like. Not a problem
Okay.
at all. If you
Mm.
just want to use
Okay.
your current one too, it's not a big deal. Okay, it
Okay.
won't affect yours. I think that whatever. As I said, like for Azure, whatever we do, you'll not get charged for this class. Just for the when we go to Microsoft 365 portion, that's why I always say just don't go ahead for the Microsoft 365 section. Just wait. I will tell you when to sign up. It's because if you don't do it, that's exactly the issue you'll have.
Okay. Okay.
That's the reason why I just don't. We can solve it. It's not a big deal, but it's they take it out. It takes like 14, 15 days for it to come out and make
Yes.
that and
Yes.
everything. Unnecessary trouble. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm just gonna fill up my water thing. Okay. I'll
Okay.
look at it.
Okay.
Just give me 2 minutes, please. Okay. 2 3 minutes, please. All right, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Perfect. So the first thing what we always go through in Azure, and I showed a little bit of it in the video as well, is you just want to make sure you know. Is first thing is I'll show you introduction to Azure itself. The first thing here, let's look at the top here in here. On the left hand side, you have 9 dots here. This is what we call Rubik's cubing. Okay, this will give you options to go to anywhere in Microsoft services. Okay, and the term I use is Microsoft services. This is because it's including Azure. It's including Office 365. These are all different services Microsoft offers, and you can access it from anywhere within the Microsoft services. On the top, Rubik's Cube. Okay, this is where you go. And Microsoft 365 is here, Azure's here, Entra. This is something that we'll look into too. This is something that we'll need to go into as well. Let's see. Standard mode. This is something that we'll look into too, but I'll show you different ways of accessing. Okay, and this one is what we call, this line over here is what we call as an overflow menu. Okay, over here, it's what we call as an overflow menu. Okay, this one. So this one has the most amount of quick access menu. These are like what you can access quickly. And in here you have home. This is your home screen itself. Okay, for Azure. In your home screen you have Azure services. Okay. When you're inside Azure, it's all called Azure services, and one of them is Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, you have subscription and you have everything else. For our role for level 1, we will only stick into Microsoft Entra ID here. This is one way you can access Entra ID, or you can access through one of these, which is Entra here. Okay, this is for, just letting it to, oh, it's over here. Yeah, this is your Entra thing, and you can see users, groups, and everything here as well. This is one way of accessing it, and the other one I showed you was one way of accessing through here. Okay, I find this one is a lot easier accessing through here, or you can find it through in here too, Microsoft Entra here. Okay, and Microsoft Entra here. So let me just go open up in here. It's same thing from you opening up in here from the Rubik's Cube menu as well. Okay, so let me just go. This is what we call other Entra ID here. Okay, this one, as I said, Entra ID is completely free. You'll not be charged for creating an account. What you'll be charged is when you assign license. In this course, you will not be adding in any licensing whatsoever. Okay, so you'll not be charged. Okay, so this is what your Entra ID's home screen is, and this is where this. Well, let me just go here. This is where you'll show here, like this is the Entra ID itself over here. This is more of an elaborated view for Entra ID. This one is nicer if you want to go a little bit more beyond, and it's a little bit more configuration style. Okay, but this is enough for ours thing. Okay, if I go to the one that's up to you, it's totally fine. The first thing what we always do is, let me go into here, users. Okay, this one will have all the user accounts that you have created. In this one right now, there's only 2, which is fine. You might not have any, or just one account you'll have when you sign up for the Entra ID account. It's your account. Okay, that's your first account you have. You can go ahead and create users in here and everything. Okay, and let me just go back in here on top here. If we go into groups, remember what we talked about, groups are different departments, those type of things, right? If we go into all groups, this is where you
sorry, Adam. So this is kind of a admin dashboard. It's
exactly.
like
This is admin dashboard. Yeah, exactly. This admin dashboard.
So I'm the admin now.
Yeah, you're the admin. As soon as you're created, you're the administrator for it. You're the IT admin for it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So as I said, there's 2 ways of accessing this. One is through the Entra from here, or this. Both of them give you the same information, but in different style. Okay, so that's fine. But these are the groups. Okay, there's 2 types of groups in here. One is called groups, another one's called nested groups. Which nested group means a group within a group. Okay, itself. So if you go into account payable, which I'll show you guys how to create it, not a problem at all. And we see the group membership. This one may not have. Yeah, so members, they have accounting here. Okay, account payable. This is part of the accounting group itself. If you go into accounting, you'll see this part of the group membership, I believe. Yeah, group membership. Okay, because the members is a parent, and I'll show you what I mean by that. It just doesn't make sense if I explain to you right now, but I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, and then you can go. This is all groups. This will show you all the groups. You can go in here and add people in. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all this for now. I want to start off fresh. Okay, perfect. And with Microsoft Azure, just before we get started, I would like to let you know, it does sometimes when you create something, it does take a couple of seconds, okay? Especially when you're doing troubleshooting, when you're trying to read the logs, it takes a couple of minutes for it to populate. The reason is because they have something called a sync time, okay? If you look at let me show you why is it so? Okay, so if I show you, I'll just tell you this for just as an information, okay? The exact numbering is different. It depends, okay? So let's say the Azure updates every 15 minutes, okay? So it'll update on the 15 over here. It'll update on the 30 over here. It'll update on the 45 over here, and it'll update on the 0 over here, right? So if you make any changes from like here, from 01 to 14 minutes, you'll only see that update on the 15th minute itself, okay? So let me just open it up. So that's something that it's pretty confusing for some people. It's because the update only kicks in after the time. Okay, it depends on the timing. Obviously, I'm just giving you as 15 as just as a example. But let's say if you make any changes on the 14th, sometimes you'll see it right away within a minute. But sometimes we do it like at 12:01, you won't see it for 15 minutes. Okay, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining it in a bit of a weird way.
Yeah, it's like, you mean if I made a change, it will take 14 minutes to update? It's like,
No, so like okay, let me draw this. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just take it. Okay, I'll tell you this, right? You know how credit card, right? You know how
yeah.
if we like, if the billing cycle is on the 21st date, even if you buy something on the 20th, you'll still be charged interest because even though there's only 1 day,
Okay, now
right?
I got it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
I got it.
exactly. Yeah. See, when we talk in money terms, man, everybody understands, money
Yeah.
speaks. Yeah, that's the reason why. But the 15 minutes thing is, I'm not saying it's concrete, okay? Microsoft service can have a different timing. It's all depends, right? But sometimes we might not see certain logs right away. And sometimes you will, and that's the reason why. Okay, so imagine there's one update that happens here, and there's one update that happens here. There's one update that happens here, and one update that happens here. Okay.
So it's not
So
it's not specific, right? Like
yeah, it's not
it's
specific.
random.
It's not. I think it's not random, but I think how they do it is it's a region where you're taking it from, because Microsoft has something called a regions. So Azure, if you look at it, Azure regions. So they actually have a data warehouse in different part of the world. So if you see here, they have 38 different regions, I believe. And then within the big region, so every continent has like 2 or 3 different, I'll show you here. Data, I think it's called in Azure, it's AWS is called region, but in thing it's called data centers. Yeah. So they have, I think they have 3, 2 in Toronto and 3 in Montreal and those type of things, right? Global infrastructure.
So like when we created logins, maybe within a certain minutes, the users cannot. Maybe they can access, maybe they cannot access.
Yeah, like within a split second. But the thing is not when you create the account, it's when you're trying to read the troubleshooting data. Because the troubleshooting data has to be sometime populated.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. So let's say if we look at here, this is India. Where's Canada? This is Africa, right over here. Okay, so this is Canada. Okay, going to Canada in here. Let's say if we go into view mode, in just like view map. Okay, so if we go here. So these are some of them are just I don't know why this is so hard to take just the data into list. Let's go to Google. I don't like Edge. Okay, so these are regions. So these are what they call as regions. Okay, so in America, if you go, so there's one in Canada Center, right, which is Toronto. There's one in Quebec. There's I'm sure we can. There's 8 in Canada. Oh, sorry, there's 2 in Canada, which is Toronto and Quebec. So and then they also have something called end zones. End zones. It's called. The reason why and the end zone is used for is for cache. It's to just hold information for a little bit of time, just for 15-20 minutes of time. That's where the delay comes in from. It's from the cache. It's from the end zones, because sometimes these enter IDs, you can be on the Canada Center Toronto server or Quebec or both of them. Mostly, these informations are stored on all of them, right? Toronto, Quebec, and sometimes even in the US servers as well. It depends on what type of style of packet you get, but usually it's backed up in the North American server, because just in case, I don't know if you heard about it, when because of the war with the Dubai's AWS server data house,
it's down.
got attacked. It's attacked, right? So in case something like that happens, we can't have people not work, right? So Microsoft will always replicate those along different servers. That's the reason why there's a bit of a 10 minutes or 15 minutes delay. In a on-premises side, like if the server exists inside the company, for sure you'll know the exact time. Sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes. And same rule will apply. Okay. But because we're on the cloud, it's just that the timing is not predictable, and sometimes you might not see it instantly. That's what I just want you to understand. It's because you might be, what the hell, I did this, I tried to do the problem, but I don't see the logs here. Just give it 15 minutes. Just grab a cup of coffee or something. That's 15 minutes, 15, 20. I always say give it 20 minutes and you'll see it. Okay. I always say 20 minutes, but 15 minutes is more than enough, I believe. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Perfect. Yeah. It just if you remember the billing cycle thing, it's just, I know it's not fair, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Now let's look at this. Okay. The first thing I always say is create a group, because if the group does not exist, you can't if the department does not exist, you can't hire people, right? So in the logical way, let's create a group first. Okay. So let me move this here like this. Let me put this here. Let me open up the assignment 1. So these are what we call the department groups, okay? These are what we call the department group. These are the main groups. So you can go ahead and create them like this. So you go into main group here. And I'm just going to copy this, okay? And the reason why I always tell you, whenever I train level 1 or level 2 or infrastructure or anything like that, I always tell them to copy and paste. The reason why you copy and paste, and it's better to copy and paste, is you can never be wrong. You can confidently say I copy and paste, okay, if the name is wrong. There's been so many times when there's people who gave us a wrong name and came back and be like, oh, the name is completely wrong, you have to fix it, it's your fault. And we just be like, I know for sure that I never typed it, so I can be confident that this is what you gave me is what is there. And we go back and reference it, and it'll be the same thing what I told them, right? So that's why I always suggest just copy and paste, okay? Don't type in. In the case, if you do have to type it, if you have only hard copy, yes, that's what it is, right? But in most cases, just copy and paste, okay? And you see, we created it. Sometimes it doesn't show up here, right? If you do a refresh, it shows up. It takes a split second for it to populate. It's the latency you'll get. Okay, and we create the thing like this, security, and we leave it. Description is here. And this is what we call the main groups, okay? I'm just going to create 3 of them just to show you for examples. Finance. As I said, the first assignment is the most easiest, but it takes the most amount of time is because of that, the amount of things you fill in. Okay. So as I said, again, just give it a refresh. It'll come in. Okay. So we have created the first 3 departments: executives, HR, and finance. Okay. These things with the proper how we're supposed to create. Okay. Now, when we come into it, we're going to have to create these subgroups. These are what we call as nested groups. Okay. So now let's go ahead and create the nested groups. The way how you create the nested group is exactly the same way how you would create a group as well. Okay. So you create, again, you'll click on new group here. You'll copy and paste the name from here. And each company can have a different naming convention. Okay, so they can use their own type of naming convention. So it depends on the company itself. So I'm just going to create the second group for the executives. Refresh. It's over here. Okay, and you see there's no difference, but I'll show you exactly what I mean, how to add them. And I'm going to just add them for HR as well. Okay, I'm just going to do 2 nested teams. Okay, and then we'll create the payroll.
For the nested group also, it's like we are creating like normal group.
Yeah, normal group. When you create them, you're going to create them like normal group. But is how you configure them. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to configure them. I'm just going to make this a little slightly bigger so you can see which one. Okay. And I want to just collapse this. I don't need this. Okay. So now let's go ahead and add these 2 to the executive groups itself. Okay. So we're going to first go into executives here. And we're going to go into group members. Okay. And we're going to add membership. And we're going to look for these guys. So SEC executive assistant and SEC executive IT support. We're going to check them both and click the select. And if you refresh here, they show up in here.
Oh,
Okay. So now if you go back to the groups, you won't see a huge difference in here because from a higher level view, it's all groups, but it's because it's set up in a way. Now, if we go into, like, let's say if we go into the child group, nested groups, right? To go in here, you go to members. This should be part of the executive membership.
Okay.
Because it's a part of the executive membership. And executive, if you go into executives, you should not see this in memberships. See, it's empty here. It's part of group membership here. Okay. Because it's underneath it, right? So that's useful. Because this is part of this is a member of group executive.
Executive.
Yeah. Okay. It's slightly confusing when you look at it from a if you try to look at it from like a thing, you just have to imagine like the department itself. What department goes into what? Once you start doing them, you get a handle.
Yeah. It's like kind of a hierarchy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hierarchy. Yes. Okay. All right. So that's good. And then I'm now going to show you. That's a very straightforward thing.
Yeah.
Where you do them and other things. You need to create from all the groups. There's a nested groups as well. What I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you how to create a user and assign a role, because you're going to have to do that too. You're going to have to assign a role. Not in this one, but in the second assignment, you have to know how to assign a role. And then there's going to be things on how do you position change and those type of things. Those you have to do some research and learn them. Okay. And I'll show you how to where you have to go and do the research. There's some good resources which you can use. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, so in here, let's go ahead and create I'll create one from HR and then one in Daniel Robert. Okay, CEO.
So one thing, Adam, so this interface, this platform is for free for anyone.
Anyone, as long as you sign up, this is Intra-ID is completely free.
So it's kind of like they're providing us to make practice of it.
Yes, for training and those type of things. For training, because the thing is, you'll understand is even in the video I created, I think the video I created is in. Maybe 1 second. I believe this is like 220. So this is December last year. So what, 3 months ago? They have changed. So this one, the Entra here, is new. It's January. So the like cloud, it changes. Trust me, and I say this all the time. and I go in there, maybe after 2 weeks, do something new for some other client, it'll be completely different. And even in this assignment, there's a couple of things that doesn't exist anymore. And you'll be like, okay, what the hell? I'm trying to research. It's because they have removed it. I love when you guys run into that type of issues, because that's when you learn.
Okay. And like, let's say one of a company want to use this platform, so they have to buy it, right? They can't use it free.
No, they can use it free. They can use it for free too. What they have to pay is when they try to put in licensing. So let's say they want to have a Microsoft 365 license, okay? Then they have to pay for it, right? There's a cost in this one. I show you the cost as well, I believe.
So Azure is a part of 365. Microsoft 365, right?
No. So think of it like this. Yeah, I'll show you here. It's better if I draw it out for you, okay? Think of it like this. Let me show you. Okay, so think of it like Microsoft is this big red universe. Think of the Microsoft as a universe itself. In Microsoft, you have Azure is one of the product in there.
Okay.
365 is another product.
Okay.
Another product. And you have, let's say, Intune to control devices. It's another product. Okay. And you have their Copilot. It's another product. Okay. Inside Office 365, you have several products. You have the Office 365. You have the Teams. You have the, let's say, SharePoint now they have, right? And also you have, what else in Office 365? I can't think of. Intune's also in Office 365 as well, but it's external service. You can access it from there. Within it, there's also exchange management, right? Like for email type of thing. They have different products. Azure has different products here too. Azure, there's Entra ID. Azure has Entra ID. They have VMs, virtual machines. They also have virtual storage, virtual network. They have they also have SSO.
So all of them in Azure, they are free. Anyone
They're not all of them. Not all of them. So I'll show you where to go in and see which service is free. So if you go on Google and just type in Microsoft Azure free here. If you type that in, you'll actually see my Explore free Microsoft. There's some that's 12 months free. There's some things that's lifetime free. So I'll show you here right now. So let's see here. If you go down here, it tells you there's two different things. There's something 12 months you get for free. Use as much as you want. And then there's 65 services, always free services. This is going to be free always. Okay. So if you look at this one, it says, Azure AI search. You can do 50 megabyte storage for 10,000 hosted documents with 3 indexes per service. Always is going to be free period. Whereas this one, Azure Document Intelligence is 500 pages for 50 tiers, 2 months will be free. Like that, if you go, there's actually some virtual machines you can run for always free. To host like websites and everything, you can use it for always free. You'll never be charged for it. Anything 12 months, yeah.
So how they earn money from this? Like,
okay.
Much?
Yeah, so when you run in a corporate environment, that's when they make the money, because you can't just run Azure Entra ID by itself. To be honest, because then it'll be like shell, right? You need to customize it. You need to add products to it, right? That's when they make the money, and it's almost charged like based on like $50-$60 per user for the minimum license, and then goes all the way to like $600 and $700, right? On a company, when you run virtual machines, that's what you use it regularly for. Because Entra ID, there's no use of it without virtual machines, to be honest. When you're running virtual machines, the cost is like, it depends on the type of virtual machine running, right? There's so this one is 12 months for free, but there's some, those are like, it's almost like a gaming laptop. Those ones are like almost $40-$50 per minute. And sometimes a company do use them, right, on a regular basis. So they make like, I know one company that when I do consultancies for, they pay almost $16,000 a month for Azure services, including Office 365 and everything, right? So imagine that individual that I showed you who got charged $1,000. That's only 25 license, $1,000, right? So that you got charged. So imagine in a company 300, 400 people, and that's what she took was a minimal license. They have almost like $40 or $50 per license, right? Like that's a minimum license. Yeah. So it just depends on the service you add, the fees goes up to. So easily Azure will make, on a decent mid-sized company, $2,000, $3,000 a month for sure, per company, right? That's how they make their money, And they have like AI services that you can use, Copilot and those type of things. They may make money out of it. Azure, it's a shell. When you start adding in more licensing, is where it is. Well, that's a very good question, actually. But yeah, this is where you'll go in to find out what are the free services. As I said, there's a virtual machine here that I showed you, Linux one. Yeah, Linux virtual machine. So you can run this. This is free for 12 months. There used to be one that is always free. There's one that always free. Discover access, migrate your. This is for migration. Manage disk. Oh, I guess they don't have it anymore. So they have only for 12 months. They used to have one. It's a very small Linux machine for, always free, but they removed it. Obviously, they're not making probably money from it, right? So 1 year is enough for you to test out and do your stuff, But yeah, they have some always free. Entra ID is always free. Entra ID, as long as you stay within the 50,000 stored object, which is like 50,000 groups or users or other things, altogether it has to be less than 50,000. For sure, you'll never reach 50,000. Okay, so it's always free. Now, Entra ID used to be called Azure AD. Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, B2C, this one used to be they renamed it last year, I think 2 years ago. That was also free. If they want to change it from on-premises to cloud, different naming. It was because it's confusing for people, that's the reason. They just renamed it, nothing major changes. Okay.
No.
All right, now let's look at how to actually create users, assign them to a membership, and as well as assigning roles. Okay. So if we go to the Entra here, I always like to go here because, as I said, this is something new from this year. Let me go here. Let me go into Microsoft Entra ID. You can go there to create it. It's not a big difference. So when you go into users here, okay, we collapse this. You might see one there. That's fine. That's your user account. But let's go ahead and create our first user account. Okay. I'm going to first create Daniel Roberts, and then I'm going to create Priya Nair. Okay. Give me 1 second, Daniel Roberts. Yeah, because I have to create 3 users. Or 2 users fine. 2 users fine. I'll create Daniel Roberts and Priya Nair. Okay. Let's go ahead and start. Okay. So we'll click on new user. So when you click on new user, there's a 2 different things. This is what new about the cloud-based things. So there's something called create new users, create a new internal user in your organization, or the second one is called invite external users. Invite an external user to collaborate with your organization. So why this became a huge improvement is a lot of times in an enterprise company, right? You will always have people coming in from a different organization to come and work for you, which means in the past you have to create the account, you have to create an email account for them and maintain it, right? It's too much work. They might be only here for 2 or 3 days, and sometimes it creates a security risk for us. Because once the account is there, sometimes we might not disable it properly, remove the access, or change the password. It creates a sort of a security risk for us. So now what Microsoft done is we can actually invite people from external users to come in and work, and we can actually set a deadline and whatever the access they have, and it actually ends the account right away. It's to promote the safe culture, and we don't have to create the account here. It'll just be an invitation for them. It'll be a temporary invitation for them, and it's just a lot better for external users. Okay? But in this case, we're going to be creating internal users. Create new users. Okay. So in this one, what you're going to see is you're going to see like this. Okay, it's going to say your name dot on Microsoft.com, which is what you're going to see. Okay, on your site. With this one doesn't matter. This is what we call as a domain name. Okay, this one doesn't matter because you're a temporary account use. So in the user principal name, your username for this class will be the first name dot the last name. Each company will have their own different type of naming convention. Some company I've worked with had the first initial and the last name, or first name and the last initial. It's all depends. So the company to company, their preference will change, and they'll let you know before you start creating the account what is the thing. Or you can go into their enter ID to see how they actually position themselves. Okay, but in this case, it's just going to go. Yeah, but in this case, we're just going to do first name dot last name. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this one over here. I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to delete this thing, and I'm going to do like this. Okay, and as I said, each company to company, this will change. Okay. Display name is going to be Daniel Roberts. I'm just going to keep it. This is what's going to display for them. Okay. And the password, it's going to set up as an automatic password, which is fine. You can change this too. If I change this over here, the automatic password is totally fine. Okay. We can retrieve it later on. Not a problem at all. Account is enabled. It has to be checked on for the account to be able to log in. Okay. The next thing what we do is we don't create, review, and create over here. We do next is properties. Okay. In this one, we're going to enter in the first name, which is Daniel Roberts. I'm just going to remove the Roberts here. Last name is Roberts. Type of member. Job title. We'll get it from here. If you don't see information that's if you see a missing information here, you don't have to fill it in. Okay. Whatever is in here, you just have to fill it in. Okay. So this is going to be a CEO. And we're going to know his phone number here. We're going to copy it and put it into the phone number. It doesn't matter if you put into business or something like that. It really doesn't matter. But in certain workplaces, they'll tell you this is a mobile phone, this is a landline phone or home phone. If they tell you, you put it in. Okay, it's office phone. Toronto. And yeah, and then employee hire date, employee type is going to be full-time.
So if we want to add a customized thing like let's say, can we have at the, I mean,
like customized meaning like employee ID and those type of things, right?
yeah, it's like let's say the fields, all the fields are available. Let's say in a company we need a one of the field, but it isn't available in this list.
Yeah. So usually in that case, you cannot create a new list, but your system admin can create a new list area. In here, one of the things that I see in a lot of places has something called employee ID. Employee ID is like your employee number, right? The reason why they might want you to add it in is that's what ties it to your HR system, the payroll system. That's what ties it to the payroll system. So they'll have a list over here called employee. They already have it here, but like you might have like a. Sorry, you might have like a. You might have like another field like employee ID now is built in like maybe employment reference or something like that. It'll be created by system admin. If they give it to you on your hiring sheet, which is called a person intake form, right? So when they do intake, they'll have all this detail. HR will send you. I just create it based on what they give you. But if there's a field that you require, even a field that they require to fill in, they have to give you information for it. You're not supposed to assume anything and fill it in because these are details that you're only doing what they give you, right? So you're not allowed to assume anything. Like you can't assume that this person might be full-time eligible, right? If you have any questions, just always ask like your HR or your team lead, just so they can make sure that it coordinates with it, right? Because you don't want to put in a different information than what the HR has. And I'll tell you the instance why this will make it so it's hard, because when you do a name change, it's the most important thing is that the name change affects a lot of things once you have created the account. Because once Microsoft, let's say they create Adhavan.Mahendra, right? It actually locks the name in forever into this organization. It's just for this organization. So let's say if I make a mistake now, like the common names, like like John Smith, those type of names, they're very common. So what some companies will tell you to do is if there's multiple name that's the same, they'll tell you to add in maybe a 1 or 2 or something. That's what they tell you to do. Or or add in their last name or middle name or some sort of numeric numbers just to make sure that we have systems. You can't have the same name for multiple users. It just causes issue, right? So they'll have some sort of mechanism for like add a number or something. Like John Smith is a very common name, or like Muhammad. Muhammad is a very common name. Like say first name and last name when it's the same, it causes an issue. So if that's the case, like you have to, before you create the user, if it looks similar, always search before you start to create the user. It's very easy. I'll show you.
That's when we can't create a user with the same name, right?
Yeah, when you can't create the user with the same name.
So what is the solution for that? Like,
so usually a company will have a policy saying that if you have the same name, like if it already exists, you add a number in or something like that, or you add a numeric value, like like Adhavan 2 or something, like Adhavan.2 or something like that.
Okay.
Numeric value.
So it's like the primary key. So they're taking the primary key as the name.
Like it's not like necessarily a primary key they're taking as a name. It's just that sometimes they just want to have a different value, right? Because in the primary key you cannot have the same value. Two different things cannot have it. Unique, yeah. So for that, they just add a numeric value in it because they can't add a. I would be probably upset if they add like A at the end of my name, right? Like Mahendra A. Like that's wrong, right? They cannot change my name. But what they can do is they can add a numeric value in to show that this is a different person.
Okay.
Yeah, they cannot shorten it usually. They don't really shorten it. But they'll add a numeric. It depends on company to company. If you find it, just ask them, in this case, your team lead or your manager, would you like me to add a numeric value in, or do you have any protocol that you want me to follow?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I know in a government entity, for sure, you have to add a numeric value in. That's how it works in a government entity. Because we cannot modify the name. It's highly illegal because they have to trace back who have done anything, right? So it becomes an issue. So I'll use that numeric value. Like John Smith, Sarah Smith, those type of names are very, very common. Okay, so let's say we fill these details in. Okay, I have filled in what all the details I have here. Now I'll click next. Assignment. Okay, and this is where you'll add the groups in. Okay, this person is part of executive. So I'll add in the executive. Okay, add a group. Execute. Okay, select. They're part of this group itself. Now I'll click next. This will give me a review to review and create. Okay, I create this. Refresh. You have created your first user in Azure. Okay, and you see the job title here. You can always modify this. I'll just make it bigger just to show you. You can always modify this role here to see what information you want to see. Sometimes you don't need to see unnecessary information. Okay, I always find like the user type and everything is just unnecessary to see. But what you can do is you can actually modify this bar to give you what you exactly need to see. You click on here, manage view, edit column. You can actually add in more column, like that's what's necessary, or like you can actually move this to different thing. Like I don't really care about is an agent, like user type. I don't really care because I know they're all going to be users, right? So user type, I don't really care. Account enabled, yes, I really care if the account is like is in the working state or not. It's an agent, I don't really care. Employee ID, maybe I want to see. Yeah, so if I click save, it gives me relevant information what I want to see right away, right? So I don't waste time on going and digging into things. It's just an easier way for me to see. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and create the second user. I want to create Priya Nair. Priya Nair is because I want to show you there's something called managers. Okay. The reason why this is also important is they want to know who this person actually reports to, who this person is, because CEO doesn't report anyone, but everyone must be reporting some. Okay, so that's for approval purposes and things like that. Okay. CEO is the most powerful in the company itself, so you don't need to report anyone, but everyone else must be reporting to someone. Now, there's still a lot of company that doesn't do this, but I suggest you do it is because of, you can ask permission, who to ask permission, those things. Okay. So let's say we do the same thing, new user, exact same process. I'm just going to change this to this. Well, you won't have the two options. Just for me, you say two options. And I'm going to click next. First name. Job title will be Director of Operation. And she's going to be reporting to Daniel Roberts. And this is where you add it in. We'll see the manager here. Add managers. You go ahead and see Daniel Roberts here. Let's check that and select. Okay. And then you'll add in the rest of it. Next, she's also part of executives. Okay, I'm going to click next and create. And if you refresh, she's there. Maybe we can add another column in here for who she reports to, who they reports to, just to see if everyone's there, right? So we can add a thing, and we can go ahead and find the one where we want is called report to manager.
It looks like Microsoft Access. It's kind of like
almost similar.
Yes,
Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
Department, hire date, employee type, extension available, external user change. I don't think so. We have a filter for manager, which is fine. I know when a company go to a paid intro ID version, there's a lot of customization you can do. We're using a free one, so there's not much customization. There's actually a paid version that you can use for larger companies. Even like you can get it, but it's per user you have to pay. Per user per month you have to pay, right? So that one you have a lot more customization. So this one, what I also want to show you is, so we are seeing how to actually assign managers. Now I want to show you how to actually assign roles. In Azure, one of the biggest things that Azure was successful is called RBAC, R-B-A-C. Okay, the reason why RBAC is one of the biggest thing that Azure has came up with and it's very successful is because it's called role-based access control. What the role-based access control defines is, let's say you're HR, a part of hiring process, right? You can clearly define what is your job role is. Based on your job role, what type of access you need. So depending on the access you need, whatever access you need, part of it will be your RBAC role. Okay. The reason why RBAC role is a lot of people like it is because it gives them just the access what you need to be doing your job. It doesn't give you more, it doesn't give you less. If it gives you a little bit less, we can always add on top of it to give you just the right access. But we always try to go with a role or RBAC role if that's possible. Okay. And this RBAC role is created by your system admin. Now, Azure does have free RBAC roles or pre-created RBAC roles that we can use to test out or apply, just as a passive manager, something that it's simple roles. They do have it already pre-built that we can test out, but a system admin can actually go ahead and develop those RBAC roles. Okay, this will be worked with the HR and the departmental managers and those type of things to work with them, create what type of access they need. In some cases, When they create a new role, they might not have an RBAC role created. Your system admin might not have the time to create RBAC role. Now, when you go to a little bit more organized or a little bit more higher end companies, like a little bit where there's like 1,000+ people working, they'll have this created for sure. And I mean, they'll, even if a new thing comes in, they'll have a working session where the system admin will work with HR to develop this new RBAC role, and they'll give you exactly what role this person gets. When the HR gives you the information to create an account, they'll tell you what department they will go into. They'll give you, they'll let you know, okay, can you mimic Adhavin's role? Or they'll tell you, can you mimic Priya's role, whatever they had? Because they'll be doing similar work, right? So you'll get that too. You will be going into the Priya's role and see what they have and mimic what they have to this person, okay? That is something very common to do. And so they'll tell you this is the RBAC role you're going to assign to, okay? They'll tell you either copy this person's to this person, or they'll tell you this is the exact RBAC role that I want you to plan for them. Either or. Like I know a lot of companies that just tells, can you just mimic the same access as this person? And you just go into them, see what they have, and just literally copy and paste it. So it's a copy and paste, okay? So in here, let's go in here. In here, where we see is assigned roles. If you go into assigned roles, you can actually do something called add assignments, okay? So these are by default that's been created in Microsoft Azure. This is not customized. In your free account, you cannot customize Microsoft role-based access, okay? They give you free ones you can use, then you can assign, okay? But in a corporate environment, your system admin will configure them and create them. So let's say if you want to do something for like password, you can change this, help desk administrator, and this says the things you can do description. Can reset password for non-administrator and help desk admin. Password administrator can reset password for non-administrator and password admin, okay? So let's say you want to assign this role here. And if you want to read more on it, you should be able to click into it and read more. I'll show you. But let's say if you want to assign this, you just click on this one, this role, and click on add. Okay, and give it a refresh. This will load in, okay? And if you want to read more about it, what type of access you were given, you can just click on this password administrator here. Description. This will give you a much more clear understanding of what exact role you have, what type of access they have given, okay? These are all the individual permissions they have gotten, so to the thing. So one role has pretty much that's about 50 different set of actions here for them to be able to, not even 50, I think about like maybe 30, 40 different actions to do a password reset itself. If you want to mimic this on an individual access level, you have to find all these and give it to them, right? And you might miss some or not. So that's the reason why RBAC role was one of the best things they have created, okay? And also in your resumes, when you put in RBAC, or you understand RBAC, it's a huge bonus, right? Because RBAC is a new technology everybody's using. Everybody wants you to, understand RBAC, how it works. This is how it works, okay? So this is where you'll go in and read it, okay? No problem at all. Let me just unstart this, okay? So bulk operation results. So if you go in here, you might see what are some of the things they're doing. This is due request. Now, if I go back here, you'll see now part of Priya Nair's account. If you go into assigned roles, you'll see she's assigned the password administrator, okay? If you want to remove it, we'll select this and remove assigned roles as well. And click yes. That's how easy it is to apply that 15 or 30 different permissions for her account with just one role-based access account. And they have all of these different separate access control for each different department. Now, what you have in your system is Azure created pre-defaultly created account, RBAC roles, which you can still assign and get used to the hands-on activity of it, okay? Now, if you go into the groups here, we'll see Priya as part of the executive group, okay, itself. And now, when you go here, sign in logs, because we haven't signed into her account yet, we won't see it. But there will be activity where you actually will sign in as a couple of people. I don't know which people it is, but you will actually log in as people and develop the report here. You'll see the login report here, and then part of the last assignment is you'll actually create errors and go in and document which error this is. Okay, there's two steps in. There's two different categories in here. One is called interactive, and one is called non-interactive. The difference is the interactive is if I go into a browser and try to log in, that's interactive because the user is going into a browser, putting in the username, password, and the MFA, right, to log in. That's interactive. Then what is non-interactive is let's say if I'm on my phone, you know, the mail app, if I log into my mail app, the mail app tries to log in every maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, right? It's a non-interactive login. I log in only once, but the app will try refreshing to get the email, right? That is called non-interactive, okay? Please remember that because that's where you're going to see the login issues. If in your workplace, if you ever have issues with the user saying that I'm not able to log in, you might have to need to go into both of them to check if they're having issues in the interactive side or non-interactive side. And sometimes, trust me, interactive side can be an issue as well. Okay, so like app login, they might have entered in an older, they might have an older phone they have used to log into their Office Outlook, but because the password is wrong, password is older than that one, it's still trying to use that and locks your account. So it's better to go into non-interactive to check as well, okay, as well as interactive. Make sense?
Yeah.
And sorry, and part of the assignment is you'll be asked to log in as a user to set up the user. Okay, so what you'll do is I'm just going to show this on my Chrome. You always have to, I suggest is you open this in an incognito mode. So in your Chrome or where it is, you have something called incognito mode. Go in here. Let's say if you go to portal.azure.com, right? And I'm going to log in as Priya. So I'm going to go here, overview. I'm going to copy this one over here. This is the username. Next. It's going to ask me to enter the password, which I don't know. I'm just going to reset the password here. Copy this. Go into this one. It's going to ask me to change the password, to create the first password, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, okay? Oh. Okay, perfect. Now I'll go ahead and sign in. This is how exactly user will log in, okay? So let's go ahead and log in, give it a second. Now it's going to ask me to set up something called the MFA, okay? Multi-factor authentication. You guys might be using it for your bank or most of the other apps, right? Let's go ahead and set that up, okay? You'll need to download something called the Microsoft Authenticator, okay? Microsoft Authenticator. I'm sure you guys are already probably using it. It looks something like this. I don't know. It'll look something like this. It's where
I know that because to log in my payroll accounts in my company, I have to yes.
Yeah, exactly. So what you'll do is you'll download the app and you set it up, and then you go ahead and click next in here. In your phone, you just do add. Okay, you click on the plus icon on the top here, and then you'll do work or school account. Okay, you'll do not the personal, and then I'll do here next work or school on the app, and then you go to next. It's going to ask you to quick scan QR code. Okay, and then I'm just going to scan the QR code here with my phone. Once I scan it, the app is going to set it up. Perfect. Now I have set this up. And then it's going to tell me and my phone is asking me to enter the password. Okay, what it shows here. 49. I'm going to enter my phone. And then give it a second. Perfect. It's done. Stay signed in. I don't really care being signed into this. Okay, that's not a big deal. Perfect. Now we have created we have created our user. We have logged in. We have set up MFA. Okay, this is how you exactly onboard a user inside Azure itself. And this will be the same process for Microsoft 365, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, but this is exactly what you would do. Now, if we go into sign-in logs, and I hope this doesn't show right away. The reason is because I want to show you that it does take some time. Yeah, see, it doesn't show any results right now. It will take about maybe 20 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, I suggest. This will be interactive because I'm going in there, I'm putting in my password and logging, right? It's interactive. Okay. Part of one of the assignments, it's going to ask you to delete the MFA account. Okay. Where you will do that is you'll go into your, I'm going to overview and go into, no, here, sorry, authentication. You see my iPhone 12, I just added in right now. I can just remove. And it's deleting it. Okay, perfect. Now the ones on my phone will not work, okay? So the user will have to set up the MFA again. That's all you do, okay? In case they have lost the phone or did something, okay? And you can also add a method here as well, where you can give them a temporary password. Like you can, if let's say sometimes the user might have forgot their phone, right? So you can't be like, no, sorry, you can't log into your account today, right? You can't do that. So what you can do is you can add another secondary phone number or an email address. You don't really do a temporary access. There's only certain company only does temporary passes, but you can do an email or phone number. Some company like you just give them a 24 hours pass, like a temporary pass. They can use to log in, with the minutes. How many minutes they can use to log in. Is it going to be a one-time use or is it going to be multiple time in that minutes, right? So if it's just one time, you set up to 60 minutes, they can log in within the next 60 minutes or whatever, 24 hours or whatever it is. You just calculate in that minutes, put it in, and it's one time or all over the day, all day. So they're going to go home in 8 hours. So you do that and add it. And it gives them a code. Oh, this is not allowed for my account. That's okay. But yeah, but usually you'll add in either email or a phone number, okay? Temporary phone number, temporary email, secondary phone number, secondary email for them to log in. Okay. But other than that, the assignment, there is some, that's what I like to call as a traps. So these are set up to a way for you to research and find out that's no longer existing. Okay. So like, I'll tell you right now, you cannot disable account, I believe it's called disable account. Okay, you cannot deactivate account. Sorry, you cannot deactivate account. You can only disable an account, enable or disable an account. And there's no longer on Azure side. There's Microsoft has completely removed the company structure. You cannot see the reporting structure. Okay, from Microsoft side, it's no longer available. So those are what we call the trap. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. So far, so
it's
good.
it's pretty straightforward. Just get your hand wet, that's all we say. Once you start going into it, you'll get a rhythm. It might look like, people get scared when they see the 25 count. It's not that scary, trust me. A lot of people get so scared when they see 25 counts or when they see the third assignment. The third assignment is where a lot of people get scared because of troubleshooting. Once you sit down one day, completely dedicate one day for each assignment, right? You'll be able to do it in 3 days. The fastest I've ever seen someone complete this is within 3 days. So they did one assignment per. I think they spend around, in total, all 3 days, they spend around like 7 or 8 hours all together, right? In 3 days. So they did like 3 hours per day or something like that, I think. So, but it's very doable. If you have any questions, please use your course code to communicate, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start an email chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep each of the emails in the email chain, okay? So I'm going to copy this and put this in here. IT help desk 26-3 Azure one. So any questions for assignment 1, you can put in this email chain, okay? So everybody will see.
Okay.
And then we're going to create another one. I'm going to create another one for you, and I'm going to create another one. This is going to be for assignment 3. Okay. So each one of those will be your email chains for the questions, okay? And if I ever see it going in a wrong direction, I'll jump in and reply, but I would expect each one of the team members to go ahead and jump in and answer the questions, okay? And if you have any questions, feel free to just ask the whole group, and I'm up there in the chain, so I'll take a look at it, okay? Okay. But I hope you guys will all have fun with this one. And when we meet back on week 6, a lot of people have very good understanding of Azure itself. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's not weekly view. Okay, yeah. So when we meet back on the 28th class, 8th class, so the 27th before 10 p.m. This is all due. Okay.
Oh,
All the assignment in one. I mean, all the assignment is individual PDF. Assignment 1 is individual PDF with a proper title. Okay, and just hand it through one email. Just put in one email chain saying that Azure assignment 1, 2, and 3 handled. Okay, with your course code.
okay.
Yeah, don't put in multiple. It's hard for me to search them. So I suggest
Yeah.
put all the documents in one and one like a 3 different PDF in one email. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
And then on the 28th class, what we will do is this is the Azure review. That class will be a very going through the Azure assignments. That class is dedicated for just Azure assignment. Any questions that you have in Azure, we'll cover that.
Okay.
And then when we go into the April, the date, which is going to be April 4th, we're going to start immediately on Microsoft 365. And there'll be a small lecture on Microsoft 365. And then you guys will go ahead and create assignment. And then again, another 2 weeks of no live classes just for Microsoft Azure account. Okay, Azure assignment, 3 assignments, same thing like this. Okay, but in that one, you'll have access to the ticketing system. That's the biggest thing in that one.
Oh.
You'll create the first one will be the same thing like this. First assignment will be creating the Microsoft 365 accounts. Second assignment will be troubleshooting and creating tickets. You'll learn how to create tickets, how to actually reply to a ticket, how do you actually solve a ticket. That'll be heavily based on ticket. Okay,
So the ticketing system, it's you made it, or it's like Fresh Days Go or something?
no, so this one here, this is what we call as an open source ticketing system. It falls under the same what we call the same methodology or same principles of any ticketing system. Any ticketing system you take in has 4 different principles it works off of. Remember we talked about it, and I think in one of the videos is there's service intake, there's incident, and then the 4th one is optional, which is called asset management. The 4th one is just it's additional, but the ticketing system should be able to monitor all 3 of them. That's what this ticketing system is based off. You create a new ticket based on the users. You can set severity level. That's why you'll see people. I think you guys already got the login for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, and I don't know if I told you guys too. The staff, he has actually chopped up his finger. He's still recovering. So he's from it. I didn't tell you guys that.
No.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So yes, unfortunately, the staff. His name is Nafis. He's the one who's used. He's a very, very good individual. But he was cutting tin fish.
Oh my!
Chef knife, and unfortunately the chef knife slipped and it literally chopped off this chunk of his finger. So he's decommissioned for. He's supposed to come back, but he just cannot, because when you're typing, you by accident type this with his finger, right? So it tried to work, but he just doesn't. So I told him to take another 2-3 weeks off, just to for the finger to recover fully. It's completely gone, that finger. Use a slipped and completely gone. The finger's completely gone. They couldn't do anything about it. They tried anything to stick it back in, but it just couldn't possibly. It's too small. So they said it's too severe. It is just better. Okay. But yeah, other than that, you guys have all the tools and things you guys require for the training to go ahead and start working on the assignments. I'm excited to see the assignment on week 6. And if you guys have any questions, please reach through email chains, okay? With a proper class code. In the proper chain.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.